Welcome back. So far, we have seen equality and inequality conditions, and we have examined Boolean operators to combine them. In this video, we are going to examine a new operator, the IN operator. The IN operator checks if a value appears in a list of values. It has the following structure. We write attribute in, and then within parentheses, a list of comma-separated list of values. So for example, the condition genre in parentheses, and then quotes drama, close quotes, comma, quotes comedy, close parentheses, is going to return all the rows where the attribute genre is either drama or comedy. Similarly, we also have the not in operator. So for example, the condition genre not in parentheses adult, comma, war will return all the rows where the attribute genre is neither adult nor war. Let's try to do a couple of practice queries. I'm going to repeat the queries that we did in an earlier video where we examined the Boolean operator OR. You'll see that sometimes it's much easier to express these conditions in a query using the IN operator instead of using the OR operator and Boolean conditions. So our query is the following. Fetch all the information for the directors with last name Scorsese, Polanski, and Spielberg. Remember, we have done this query using the OR operator in an earlier video. Let's remember how we answered that query using OR so that we can make the comparisons. So what we do, we write select star from directors where last name is equal to Scorsese, or last name is equal to Polanski, or last name is equal to Spielberg. Remember, this query, it works, you can write it, it will give you back the results that you want. Let's see how we can rewrite this query using the IN operator. We take out the where clause with the OR, and we replace it now with the IN operator. What do we write? Where last name, this is the attribute, right? In, and then now we have a list of values within parentheses. So we open parentheses and then we type Scorsese within quotes, comma, Polanski, again within quotes, comma, Spielberg, close quotes, close parentheses. If we execute now this query, you'll see that we get directors Roman Polanski, Martin Scorsese, and Steven Spielberg. You'll see that both the OR query and the IN query return exactly the same results. However, if you compare the two, you'll see that the IN construct is a little bit easier to understand. In fact, the IN construct is a shortcut for the OR operators that you need to write sometimes in the where part. Let's do one more query with IN that is going to be a little bit more advanced. Let's say we want to fetch all the information for the directors Quentin Tarantino, Stanley Kubrick, and Orson Welles. If you remember when we did the Boolean queries, this was the more advanced query that we ran to combine the AND and OR Boolean operators. We're going to do this query again with the IN operator. So how are we going to write this query? As expected, we start select star from directors. If you remember from the Boolean examples, the where condition that we wrote was the following, where first name is Quentin and last name is Tarantino, or first name is Stanley and last name is Kubrick, or first name is equal to Orson and last name equal to Welles. That was the query that we have written last time. We can try it, it works. It has a relatively complex combination of AND and OR operators to ask SQL to return back the entries for these three directors. Let's see how we can write the same query using IN. Again, we start select star from directors where. Now let's see how we can write this query. We type now within parentheses first name, comma, last name, closing parentheses. Before continue, let's take a look at the structure of what we have. We specify two attributes, first name and last name, and notice how we put them within parentheses. By putting them within parentheses, this is what we call a tuple in SQL. So this tuple, first name, comma, last name, needs to be in the list of values that we're going to give now as a parameter to the in statement. So how do we write now this list of values? Again, we continue now and we say where first name, comma, last name, in, we open parentheses, and now instead of having a comma separated list of strings, as we had before for the last names of the directors, we are going now to have a list of tuples. So we write Quentin, comma, Tarantino, and we close parentheses. We have entered one tuple of first name and last name values, Quentin, Tarantino. This is one of the values within the list of values in the in list. And we continue now, comma, open parenthesis, Stanley, comma, Kubrick, close parenthesis, the second tuple, and then third one, open parenthesis, Orson, comma, Wells, and we close parenthesis, and we close the overall parenthesis for in. Let's pay attention to the structure. We specify the tuple first name, comma, last name, then in, and then within parentheses, a list of comma separated values. That completes our example using the in operator. For now, remember that in is a convenient and readable way to write queries that otherwise would require a long sequence of OR conditions. In our next video, we are going to examine one more useful operator, the like operator. Until then, play around and practice. See you next time.